Again to Let's Talk Science with Pastor Dan. We're going to do another short here about things that are in my heart. And this one is going to go back into science again and deal with science and Christianity from a varied position. What are we going to talk about? Evolution. Ooh, that big subject you knew that eventually we'd have to talk about. Do I believe in evolution? Question anybody can. The answer is yes and no. What? You can't have it both ways. You know, from the Christian perspective, heresy, heresy. From the scientific position, heresy, heresy. How can we have both a yes and no? There's what's called micro and macroevolution. I believe in microevolution. I believe that inside of a species, changes can take place between. So the best example I could talk about is the different types of dog breeding. We are able to control and change how a dog looks to meet our needs. That's how, like, the poodles of various types are made, because we have the ability to adapt inside of that species. Macroevolution, where a piece of ooze become you, I don't subscribe. I don't agree with that. It doesn't make sense scientifically. Chemically, from a chemical process, the process that would be needed to make that takes way too much control. And to have it as a naturalistic, unguided process is just, it doesn't make sense. I encourage you to look at a video I had watched this weekend. Involved this man right here. His name is Dr. Stephen Myers. Dr. Myers has his PhD from Cambridge in science history. And he is a very knowledgeable man. He was in a discussion with, this guy, Joe Rogan. And of course, Joe, being a very staunch naturalist, believing in evolution, Dr. Myers explained to Joe that the process of evolution has changed a lot. The understanding of it has changed a lot, because back when Darwin first presented the theory, they believed the cell was this really simple thing. We now know the amount of data and information involved in the cell just blows away. And I don't want to try to quote what they did in the discussion. It's better to go back and watch the video, because he does an awesome job explaining that the cell is so intricate, so coordinated, that random mutations would long cause a cell fail before it could generate it into another viable species. So it requires intelligence, requires a brain, a thought. And that brain, that thought is God. In my estimation, my humble opinion, the Lord God created the heavens and the earth, as Genesis 1 says. And the form was form without void, without form. So do I believe in evolution? I believe in subtle changes inside a species, even naturally, even unguided. We see that. Different types of birds become focused and formed for specific environments, but they do not become bumblebees. They do not become bats. They stay inside their species. And those changes, they've never been found. So therefore, it doesn't happen. The Lord God made you. You are infinitely and wonderfully made. He knows you full well, and you are blessed. All right, so that's my short. Hopefully not too bad. Take care. God bless.